Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be giving you guys a breakdown of the Washington Commanders' second round pick, Quan Martin, and how he could be a huge part of this defense in 2023. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content, also hit that like button and that notification bell as well, so you never miss a video. So the Washington Commanders drafted Jartavius Martin, or like he likes to be called, Quan Martin, with the 47th pick in this draft, which was in the second round. Safety out of Illinois. He's going to be wearing number 20 for the Commanders, 6 foot, 195 pounds, 23 years old. And I really like Quan Martin. And, a lot of people wanted us to take O-line here, myself included, but Quan Martin was just too good to pass up for them. They were considering trading up all the way to the top of the second round to go up and get him. I'm happy they didn't do that, but that just shows how highly they thought of him. And yeah, let's kind of get into it real quick. So let's go over a little bit of personal information about him. So let's see. He's from Florida, and that's his height and weight. That Illinois secondary was just absolutely amazing. I mean, they had Quan Martin, Kendall Smith, who's on the Commanders. They had, I think, Sydney something, and then they also had Devin Witherspoon. I mean, they just had an insane, or it might not be City, but there was another guy in there as well. Some information about him goes by Quan, like we said, majoring in communication, and was a 3-star recruit out of high school, 2-star by Rivals, and you guys can see some of the other information as well. And played, a lot. Played in his freshman year in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So I believe that's 5 years that he played. Was a team captain, all Big Ten second team, and all Big Ten third team by the coaches. And some of the stats right here: number 4 tackling grade in the nation among cornerbacks, which is 90.4 according to PFF. You got to take it with a grain of salt, but just some information there. 8th in the Big Ten in interceptions with 3, second on the team in pass breakups with 11. Most of the time you're going to be first by a lot with those numbers, but when you're playing with the 5th overall pick in Devin Witherspoon, it's going to make your numbers look a little bit worse, or not worse, but you're just going to be second. And then, that's kind of the main information right there. And there's some other stuff right here. So he's a good tackler, and number 2 tackling grade among Big Ten cornerbacks in 2021 as well. So he is a very good tackler, and that's one thing to know for sure. And that's kind of the most information you need to know there. Let's go over some of his stats. So let's see. Usually like to use other sites, but this is the only one that has college stats that I can use. So 2018 as a freshman, played in 9 games, had 2 tackles for a loss, 44 total tackles, 3 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups. So one of his best seasons was actually his freshman year. Then in 2019, he played in only 8 games, had way fewer tackles with 23, 2 tackles for a loss, and 2 fumble recoveries. So a little bit worse overall. A decent amount worse than his freshman year, but we don't know the coverage stuff, how he did in coverage. 2020, kind of the same as 2019. Played in the same amount of games. In 2021, 12 games, 56 tackles, 3.5 tackles for a loss. Had an interception, returned that for 19 yards, and had 6 pass breakups. And actually 2020 he had a forced fumble. 2022 his best year, played in 13 games, the most of his collegiate career. 64 tackles, also the most of his collegiate career. 3 tackles for loss, a sack, which is the only sack he ever got. 3 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, which is the most, and 2 forced fumbles, which is the most as well. So this past year was his best year. And real quick, I want to pull up the tweet. Not that we'll pull up a lot of tweets, but these were the snaps. He played 177 snaps as deep safety, 44 in the box, 70 snaps as a wide corner, and 493 snaps in the slot. So probably will be playing in the slot for the Commanders. Maybe will be playing safety. I think you could put him in both spots, but I thought this was a good tweet for you guys to see just kind of where he plays. And then, the title of this video is Draft Analyst Thinks He's the Best Safety in the Draft. And, he's not the best draft analyst. He's hit on some things, and he's also had some big misses. But he had Quan Martin as the number 1 guy. Yes, it was Sidney Brown is the guy, I believe, that's in their secondary as well, and he has him as the number 2. But that's just to show you, a lot of people were high on him. Jordan Reed, the ESPN draft analyst, had his, Quan Martin as one of the guys that he would, be banging the table for and, putting his job on the line for. So some people were very high on him. I think the NFL, though, as a whole is a little bit higher on him than maybe the media was. But Chris Sims liked him a lot over guys like Brian Branch and Christopher Smith. So just want to show that as well. And let's get into some of his strengths and weaknesses. Let's first start off with the athleticism. 44-inch vertical jump is just absolutely amazing. I think that's the highest vertical jump out of any athlete or any participant in the combine this year. That is just absolutely amazing. Broad jump 11 feet and an inch, which is also, I don't know the rankings, but I'm assuming that's pretty good. And then the 40-yard dash time is a 4.46, which isn't like absolutely amazing, but that's still very quick. And anything in the 4.4 is close to elite, probably elite. I don't know. I think 4.3 for safety is elite, and then 4.4, anything in the 4.4 is like very, very good. And yeah, that's what he did. Jordan Reed says, safety, Jartavius Martin, one of the best workouts so far, regardless of position, experience at both nickel, corner, and safety, A+ core 4 special teams player, and a very willing tackler. He was terrific today. So definitely increase his stock from the combine. And let's see anything else. So let's go into his scouting profile. So 5'11", 194 pounds. That's what he was, listed at. Somehow his, athleticism score was third in the combine, but maybe that's because he didn't do all of this right here. But I actually want to look up Jartavius Martin RAS because they have RAS scores for him. Let's see. This is just on this. Okay, so he scored a 9.28 out of a possible 10. This ranked 71st out of 974 free safeties from 1987 to 2023. Don't know the ranking this year, but that's pretty good though. The things that knocked him were his height and his weight, and I guess his bench press. Everything else was, his vertical jump 9.99. Broad was close to that as well. The 40-yard dash was in the 9 range, and everything else was really good. So what really killed him in this calculation here is the height, weight, and bench press. But not bad. 9.28 is very, very good. So I think the reason why they have him third here is just because he didn't participate in the cone drill and the 20-yard shuttle, probably. But that's kind of some of the information on him. I want to read, let's see, the overview. So they had him projected as a third rounder. That's what Lance Zierlein said. Versatile cornerback / safety prospect with the size and physical talent to play nickelback or align as a deep safety. A buttery smooth hip swivel allows him to guide and transition effectively from his pedal, but he has just average route recognition to stay connected to clever route runners. His speed and explosiveness at the combine was eye-catching, but he needs to play consistently to that speed on the field. A team will need to decide where to play him, but he has potential to become an early contributor and a starter further down the road. So, and the strengths we don't need to go down too much, but they said desired NFL body type with good size and length. So, they had it low, but I guess maybe it's because they had him as a free safety. I don't know. But, has good versatility, which, of course, Ron Rivera likes. His athleticism is great. Has the range to play over the top as a safety. Some of the weaknesses, talking about a specific game against against UVA, gets knocked off balance in the tight man coverage, might not have enough play strength to cover tight ends, needs to take leverage angles to ball carry. So strength is something he definitely could work on. A good thing he's going to have world-class, I guess not world-class facilities, but he does have a good strength trainer, and maybe we'll upgrade the facilities here when Josh Harris comes in. But I think that I really like this pick. I really like this pick for the Commanders because I think Quan Martin, is going to be a huge part to this defense. Maybe not right away, but I think at some point, either in the middle or late of this season, part of this season, or next year, he's going to be one of the better players in this defense. Got really good potential. He has the athleticism that you want. He's got the versatility. They got to pick where they want to put him. I think it's probably going to be slot corner because we do see this tweet right here. I don't know the math there, but that's well over 50%. That's probably like 65% of, he played about 65% of the snaps, something like that. maybe even more. I don't know. I'm not a huge math guy. Maybe 70%. But he played a lot of his snaps in the slot, so he has versatility and ability to place in the to play free safety and to play some other spots. I mean, he even played in the box. He can play strong safety a little bit, but he's probably ideally you want to put him in the slot. So maybe they'll switch him and what's his name, Benjamin St-Juste a little bit in the slot. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because they have four capable, or they have three already that can start. In Benjamin St-Juste, Forbes, I believe he definitely should start, and then Kendall Fuller. You got those three with Benjamin St-Juste as well, who if he takes care of those injuries, he's going to be really good. Those guys all can start, but then the one question mark is Quan Martin, because he can play as well, and if he can play in the slot, one of those guys is going to have to go to the bench. Probably at this point will be Benjamin St-Juste, but I don't know. We will see. But yeah, I think Quan Martin has a chance. It looks like he was playing pretty well from what we heard in OTAs and minicamp. If he can translate that to training camp and the preseason, there's a chance he could start from day one. If not, I think he'll be like kind of Cam Crow rookie year, where he's an injury away from starting and having a big impact. And that's why I love this secondary, because we actually have depth this year. If someone goes down in the safety room, obviously it sucks, but you can plug and play Quan Martin there. Percy Butler, maybe he takes a big leap in year 2, and then you can put in Jeremy Reeves there as well. So I really like this room. And then cornerback, you got Kendall Fuller, St-Juste, and then Forbes, and then Quan Martin as well. So you got a lot of versatility, and Danny Johnson, who can play solid as well. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.